before you can better understand the new method that we are going to learn in senior high school, we need to pause and actually go back. Look at some of the things we need to understand, right? For one of the key components is the actual location of the electrons within the shells, right? Yes, we were told that the electrons are placed on the shell, right? That's just part of the truth. But the whole truth is that they are not actually on the shells literally, right? They have a special location within the atom that these electrons are found, which is why today we are coming to understand that. It's very important. If you know the location, then we can know how to now use the new method in order to write the electronic configuration. So this is a sample atom that we have, right? So all the labels, you have all these labels from the previous sessions, and then we see they have electron shells, we have the orbit, we have the blah blah blah. Now we are now going to focus on the shell, which is the blue line, right? We are going to take one of the shells from like this case, right? So we have the full atom, but we are just focusing on one of the shells, and these shells have the electrons on them. So our focus is just going to be on one of the shells. Now the shell is colored blue, so we are going to open this shell up. So we are going to, instead of being a circle, we are opening it up to make it like a belt, a long belt like this. So we are opening the shell up to see what's inside. Now we get closer to the shell. All we have right now is a belt of the shell, right? Now inside these shells, each of these shells, right, they have mini houses within them, and these are the mini houses. So if you open out the shell, there are many houses within them. So these are represented by the green boxes. So the green boxes are the mini house I'm talking about, right? They are found in the shell. So the shell is the long belt, the blue belt, right? But then the mini houses are on it. What are these mini houses for, or mini spaces for, or what is even their name? We call them the orbitals. These mini houses that are found inside the shell, we call them orbitals. Orbitals, right? What are they for? What do we use them for? What do we need them for? They are the one that actually house the electrons. So the electrons are the black dots that you'll be presenting for long, right? So these mini boxes that are called orbitals are the one that actually hold the electrons. So the electrons are actually inside these orbitals, and these orbitals are found on the shells, right? So electrons are not literally on the shells, but then they are found within a space in the shell. So if you go to the shell, you see the mini houses within them, or mini boxes or spaces within them, and these spaces are called orbitals. And it is inside these spaces that electrons are actually sitting. Electrons are actually fitting, right? Which literally makes us see it like electrons are found on the shell, which is why I said it is part of the truth. But where they are actually located are not directly on the shell, but they're within orbitals, which are found on these shells, right? I hope this illustration actually clarifies that electrons are not directly on the shell, but they are found within orbitals, and these orbitals are hanging on each and every shell. Good. So now, what is orbital? If they ask you a definition of orbital, let's get this definition. Orbital is an area within an atom. It's an area within an atom. Within this area, there is a high probability of finding a specified electron. An area within an atom inside which there is a high probability of finding a specified electron. The word specify is needed because even though they are found within that particular orbital, there are extra things that we are going to learn about how they are actually placed inside, right? How they are actually placed in this orbital is also another thing that we need to tackle another time. But right now, we are here to understand that electrons are not found on the shells directly, but then the shells contain, the shells hold orbitals. And these orbitals are the one that contains these electrons, right? But these electrons placements even in this orbital is not just done like that, but they are done with a specific kind of strategy. That's why they need to say specified electron. Orbital is an area within an atom inside which there's a high probability of finding a specified electron. Yeah, so this is about knowing where exactly electrons are seated within the orbital, right? In the next session, we'll move on and learn another new thing which will help us or get us closer to using the new electronic configuration as specified in the high school syllabus. See you in the next session.